This conversation is pivotal, not just in this account, but in the history of the world. Because this shows us, this conversation shows us that even though God doesn't do everything bad that happens to us, He allows these things to happen. And that's something that we sometimes don't like to accept. We don't like to accept the fact that God will allow some bad things to happen to us. But one thing we should always do, even though we know that God would allow some bad things to happen, that's because He loves us. No matter what, God loves us. We said last week, trust the love that God has for us in His heart, even when we can't trace what He's doing with His hands. Even when we can't understand the stuff that He allows, we have to trust that He has so much love for us in His heart. This conversation was not about allowing calamities to happen to His child. This conversation was about loving His child enough to allow him to go through some things so that he can further understand who God is and what God does. Because brothers and sisters, if there was no rain, we would never enjoy the sunshine. If we had no pain, we couldn't enjoy the pleasurable things of life. We have to go through some things to understand some things. We have to go through some things to get strength to handle other things. We have to go through some things to give us the strength and the bravery and the temerity to stand in front of Satan, who's always on the prowl. If you don't work out, you're not going to get strong.